We must be in Cajun country. Raging Cajun country, that is. Louisiana and Appalachian State set for a big-time Sun Belt Conference tilt right here tonight on ESPN. Hi, everybody. Chris Cotter alongside Cole Kubelik. We talk about two of the top three teams in the conference getting us started. Our ESPN coverage of Fun Belt is getting kicked off in style tonight.
Let's go. All right, two of the flag bearers for this conference the last few seasons. Obviously, Coastal Carolina's been exceptional. They're kind of the transfer portal team in the Sun Belt. These two teams have been getting it done for the last few years. Two of the more physical teams in the conference. Two teams that are going to come out and try to establish the run and obviously know that they have to stop the run. I'm excited about this class tonight.
I know you are. And if familiarity breeds contempt, well, we've got ourselves the makings of a heck of a rivalry here. Sixth time in the last 4 years, Cole, these two teams have met, including the last two Sun Belt Conference championship games in 18 and 19.
That familiarity, I think, makes this game a little bit more intriguing. I remember this Saturday night, a lot of us watched that Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3 fight. Those two guys knew each other. They knew exactly what they were going to get. They knew exactly what the punches were going to look like, what they felt like. But it doesn't matter because you still got to go out and compete. You still got to bring your A game to compete with that opponent. I think we're going to get a heavyweight tilt tonight here in the Sun Belt.
You see these two teams, the tail of the tape, staying with the boxing theme. Throw in Coastal Carolina in that mix, and you have the top teams in the Sun Belt Conference. And we've got possibly a preview here in October of what December's championship game might look like between the Raging Cajuns and the Mountaineers. You talk about these two quarterbacks for this team. They almost run a mirror type of offense, but yet the quarterbacks do it in totally different ways, don't they?
Very different. Chase Bryce is going to be able to get the ball down the field a little bit more accurately and a little bit further down the field. Just has a bigger arm, more of a pocket presence. We know what he did at Clemson. We know what he did at Duke. On the flip side of that, for the Raging Cajuns, Levi Lewis, dual threat. The definition of a dual threat quarterback can hurt you outside of the pocket. Obviously, they're going to design some quarterback runs for him as well to try to add an extra blocker and the ability to scramble when things break down. He can turn those into explosive plays. So, yes, Chris, two very similar offenses that have similar blueprints to how they want to manage their systems with two different quarterbacks doing it.
They are very similar in one aspect. Both quarterbacks bring a wealth of experience to this game. Louisiana, App State coming up next on ESPN. Action on ESPN with two teams that might see each other again coming up in this Sun Belt Championship game. One of them in the East, one of them in the West. And, of course, let's not forget this Appalachian State team, head coached by Sean Clark right there in his second year. They've got Coastal Carolina in Boone next week, so a couple of tough games. They got to get by this Raging Cajun team here first, though.
Great atmosphere. Always great atmosphere here when you come to Lafayette. The tailgating outside is just incredible. Get that odor of the food and the grill's getting fired up, playing that Motorhead, coming in, getting ready for the game. Felt like Conrad Thompson doing a podcast with Triple H, getting set for that thing.
Toe meets leather, and we are underway. App State won the toss. They defer to the second half. This one goes out of the back of the end zone as Michael Hughes put his toe to it. We'll get an opportunity to see this Raging Cajun offense coming out. Levi Lewis guiding the way. You know, you talk about, I think about Levi Lewis opening up the season against Texas, playing so tough against a Big 12 opponent. His career numbers, pretty unbelievable.
You're not going to get as many guys that are just going to take as many snaps as he has over the course of his career. When you're talking about his 7th season, 61 career touchdowns. He's thrown a touchdown pass, Chris, in 36 different games across the course of his career. He's been exceptional.
Chris Smith in the backfield. Again, we'll talk a lot about how these two offenses are very similar. Smith has a little bit of room on the left side. Good yardage on first down. Give him 4.
This will be the foundation of this Raging Cajun offense tonight. Zone play. You see a splitter coming across, that tight end coming flat across the line of scrimmage away from where the play is going to end up. We'll talk a lot about that tonight, but they're going to build everything around that play right there.
Lewis to throw for the first time tonight. Pressure on the edge, going deep for a receiver. He's got him open. Making the catch is Lacey inside the 20, down to the 14. Let's see where they mark him. Huge play right at the 16. Stephen Jones in coverage, but they go deep.
Well, when the run game's going to work and the opposition is threatened by the rushing attack, you're going to get one-on-ones, and an excellent job of Levi Lewis delivering a strike downfield to Kyron Lacey. This is the area of his game that he worked on most this offseason. Want to improve his downfield accuracy.
Give to Smith in the red zone. Jukes his way into the second level. Still on his feet. Haven't heard the whistle yet. Now we get it. Heads up play by Smith not to go down immediately. Maybe picked up an extra yard.
Little zone play again there, Chris. And if that play is going, Billy Napier has so much more at his disposal. And that's the side that they want to go behind. Right side of that offensive line for the Raging Cajuns can absolutely get it.
App State defense giving up just 20 points a game, only 117 yards on the ground so far through 5 games. Again to Smith, just powering his way in there, picks up a little bit less than 2, and it'll bring up 3rd down and a yard.
You think about the advantages for the Raging Cajuns in the red zone. You saw Levi Lewis carry out his fake there. Quarterback mobility, always big in my opinion in the red zone. Give your quarterback an option to be able to keep it, maybe take it to the pylon, have the option to throw. And then obviously Johnny Lumpkin, that 6'6" tight end. Big tight ends and big receivers for 50-50 balls if you want.
Now Wildcat with Bailey, he's going to take it himself. And Amani Bailey falls down just shy of that 5, but it's going to be enough to pick up a 1st down. It'll be 1st down and goal Cajuns.
Well, now you also show that you have that Wildcat package in, that you can move to that. Defense going to have to be aware of that. When that personnel grouping is in, Dale Jones, the defensive coordinator for App State, can have to be aware that you could always get to that and just add another blocker.
Billy Napier in his 4th season, making the calls. First drive of the game for the Raging Cajuns. Give to Bailey. Tries the center of that Mountaineer defense, picks up a couple. Caden Smith on the tackle. He's a great story. We'll talk more about 13 in yellow and white as the game progresses.
Really good push on the right side. The Raging Cajuns offensive line, Max Mitchell at right tackle. He's a guy that we talked to NFL scouts about. Will tell you that they think he's got a chance to come off the board in this next NFL draft. Meticulous football player. Takes notes in every meeting. His offensive line coach, Jeff Noor, told me he's had 6-7 different notebooks just from the beginning of the season that he fills up from every meeting that they have.
2nd down and goal, man in motion. Lewis is going to keep it himself. Nowhere to go. Now switches field. He's in trouble. And he's going to lose about a yard. Nick Hampton, DeMarco Jackson. DeMarco Jackson, the leader on this defense, number 52, leading the charge.
You see reading the opposite end, and it appeared as though Nick Hampton squeezes down initially. But that's the athleticism of this dog position that App State brings. Hampton, Brendan Harrington on the opposite side. Those guys can drop, they can rush the passer. Obviously you saw there they can play the run. An excellent job of recovering back out flat to be able to make that play.
Both teams making substitutions now, 3rd and goal. Lewis looking to throw. Might be able to run if he can get to the corner. Gets a block on the outside and scores. Big time block by Peter LeBlanc at the pylon, Cole. Sprung him and certainly gave him confidence that he could get in.
Peter LeBlanc, one of those wide receivers for the Cajuns, does a lot of dirty work. There you see the read. Linebacker, 52, DeMarco Jackson comes up. Couldn't get that pop pass over the top to Pierce Meagle. And then Levi Lewis has the speed just to get to the outside. This is what we talked about, being in the red zone, Chris. Give your quarterback options. You have a quarterback that can make things happen when they break down, or design it to give him a chance to get outside. And then like you mentioned, Peter LeBlanc, excellent pickup on the outside.
Nate Snyder in for the PAT. Snyder splits the uprights. Kenneth Almendares, their number 1 kicker, is out for the rest of the year, so we'll keep an eye on the kicking game. Lewis goes deep to Kyron Lacey, setting up the Raging Cajuns. Does it with his arm, does it with his legs. Louisiana up top. Coordinator at Arizona State, so a wealth of experience, big-time college football experience he's brought here, and you saw by his overall record and by that opening drive, he can call a game.
He has built this thing the right way also. Love the way he's put this roster together for the Cajuns.
Jalen Virgil, speedster from his own 15. You don't want to let him get loose, and the Cajuns do not, dropping him at the 24. Courtline Flowers on the stop. Another opportunity to see Chase Bryce.
has picked it up the last few weeks. You see the touchdown to interception ratio. A lot of people probably see that and say, oh, that's not such a great year. But the last 2-3 games, you've seen that consistent improvement from Chase Bryce, becoming a little bit more comfortable in this system. And talked to Frank Ponce, the offensive coordinator, down the field for the game. He said, listen, the best plan is the simple plan. A very smart man told me that early in my career. That's what I've begun to do with my quarterback.
Give to Noel. And he gets wrapped up immediately. Big time play by Chauncey Manac in the backfield.
Excellent play by Chauncey Manac. Interesting story, guy that's had to come down and play some defensive end, move back out to linebacker. That versatility is big for this Raging Cajuns defense. Patrick Toney, I tell you, they can use him in a lot of different ways, and they're going to need him initially against this rushing attack that App State brings.
Nate Noel, leading rusher in the Sun Belt. Number 20, you keep an eye on him trying to go out to the flat. Hits a tight end. That looks like it's Henry Pearson. It is, and he's close to that first down marker. Big pile up right there at the marker. Let's see if he picked it up. They'll give him the first down and move the chains.
Good read there by Chase Bryce, App State quarterback. Single safety. So has an understanding of the matchups that he's going to have underneath. Full stop route there from Henry Pearson, able to get that over for first down yardage.
Looks like Chauncey Manac is coming off too. Hobbling a little bit. Just mentioned him and how important he is to this defense. Fresh set of downs for App State. They've got Noel now. Bottom of your screen. Fake to him, then a quick push pass. That's Williams, Malik Williams. Still pushing that pile. Now they finally blow the whistle. Williams, they call Spider-Man, catches everything, including a 1-foot little push pass that they turn into an 8-yard gain.
Well, he's got some juice. So you line him up here sort of as an H. See him bottom right of your screen. Fake the give to Nate Noel, then almost a little push shovel pass underneath to Malik Williams. It's a way to design extra touches for your dynamic playmakers. Just in addition to the run game there for Appalachian State.
Williams has started every game since he stepped foot on campus in Boone. Give to Noel, plenty of room. In the Raging Cajun territory, down to the 45. That was a huge hole.
This offensive line, led by Bear Hunter at center, right side of your screen. Have to get that reach block in the middle initially. That one's key. Don't need much on the double team. You seal that there. Look at the finish. Bear Hunter just blowing him into the ground.
Great name, too, Bear Hunter. I want to see Bear Hunter blocking Sonny Hazard. That's the matchup I want to see at some point in time today. Fake Price is going to go to the air. Has a receiver wide open. Nice catch. Thomas Hennigan. Hennigan is a player that Sean Clark, the head coach at App State, said was their best football player, period.
Heck of a compliment, because there are a lot of guys that can play. Beauty of the zone scheme is when you run flat play action protection like App State does there, it looks very similar to what the actual run play does. You run an isolation scheme, or you run inside zone, some of the gap scheme runs, when you run play action off of those, they don't necessarily mimic the actual run play as much. Outside zone, stretch play, you can make it look very similar.
Bryce easy. Sutton inside the 15, down to the 13, mixing up the run and the pass beautifully on this drive.
This is just the control that Chase Bryce has taken over this offense the last few weeks. The comfort level to know where the matchups are, be able to deliver the ball on time. That continuity, that chemistry with his wide receivers has just continued to grow across the course of this year.
I don't think we're in a lot of danger of that play clock running down with either one of these teams either. Going quickly, Noel. Sidesteps a would-be tackler and picks up about 4.
So we'll talk about this a lot tonight. Mentioned it when the Cajuns had the football. 18, Mike Evans is going to come flat across the line of scrimmage, split zone. He's trying to seal that backside, which is going to give Noel the cutback. Not a devastating block from Evans, but he comes across, gets just enough to allow Nate Noel to slide right back underneath, pick up a few extra yards. Now pistol formation balances things out.
Bryce to throw into the end zone, trying to get to the corner and just overshoots his man Sutton. Kai Gardner was on the coverage.
Sutton's the one that you want in that matchup. Your 50-50 ball guy, 6'3". This is not a very tall receiving corps that Appalachian State's going to bring to the table. Tight ends, same way. You're not getting those lengthy wide receivers, so you don't have as many 50-50 ball options here. But 3rd and 6, right at the 10. Chase Price got to find the matchup that he likes.
Now we got movement at the top of your screen. They'll have to move back 5 yards.
Offense, number 20 and number 11, the 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Multiple players jump, so now it's 3rd down and 11. They can get a first at the 4, but this playbook now all of a sudden becomes a lot more difficult for Sean Clark and Frank Ponce to find something that'll work.
A little bit different. You'll probably get coverage that'll be a little bit more loose. You see split safeties to start it. Patrick Toney told me on the field before the game he's going to have to roll it in a lot of different directions to try to confuse Chase Price.
Give to Noel. Forced to the outside, and he's forced out of bounds, nowhere near the 1st down yardage to gain.
Very safe call from Appalachian State. And Percy Butler's the guy that really makes this play. 9 comes down in a hurry. Screaming down from that safety spot. And that kind of forces the play to bounce. Not going to have the cutback lane when the safety fills the way that he did. Spills it to the outside. App State can have to settle for a field goal attempt.
And it'll be Chandler Staten. He's perfect on the year, 8 for 8, 31 yards. The senior from Gainesville, Georgia. Good snap, good hold, and the kick from Staten is good. So App State responds, scores on their first drive. They trail 7-3 early.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year for the 3rd year in a row.
Our crew took a, quote, swamp tour, unquote, today. That's taking in the local flavor, taking it to a next level. Love it. Cajun country here in Louisiana, Lafayette. That's about an hour west of Baton Rouge. Good look at Coach Sean Clark. He's in his 2nd season. Last year, the only first-year coach with 9+ wins, inheriting a team. You think about this with App State now, basically 3 head coaches over a 3-year span, and all play callers too. So this team to have the success that they have with new play callers, it's great.
I think Sean Clark would even tell you, listen, the way that this thing was built and the stability that this program has been able to maintain was a massive advantage for him to be able to have success. But you still have to find a way to continue that momentum, and he's been able to do that through recruiting. He hasn't relied overly on the transfer portal. I think they only have 2 transfer starters coming in here to play the Raging Cajuns tonight, so he's kept that physicality. Obviously, he has taken one of those transfers at the quarterback positions, been able to help them extend on some things down the field. Not to mention, I love seeing an O-line coach as a head coach.
You do, I know. That isn't the last time we'll hear that tonight, I guarantee you. Yeah, Eli Drinkwitz is at Mizzou now, and Scott Satterfield is at Louisville. And carrying on the tradition is Sean Clark. Michael Hughes to kick off for the Mountaineers. This is Smith, bounces off his midsection. He picks it up now. He'll have a tough time with the return, and he won't get far. He'll get to about the 13. Another big week of college football as we're just getting things started. Tuesday night Fun Belt, and then a look to the rest of the week. Thursday games, we're continuing. I mean, when Fun Belt gets started, you can't stop that. When it starts rolling, Clemson at Syracuse from the Dome, Friday night on ESPN. Cal and Oregon. UCF at Cincinnati. Cincinnati, number 3 now in the country, got the big win over Notre Dame, but they still need to be vigilant, don't they? Because somebody could jump up there and bite them.
They're going to have convincing wins, basically because of the level of competition. But you put Desmond Ritter's film on, watch the way he operates that offense. He has the ability to be explosive. You know they're going to play good defense under Luke Fickell and Joey Gatewood at quarterback now for Central Florida. It's going to be interesting to see what Gus Malzahn can design up for him, considering he had him previously at Auburn. And now gets to take him against the number 3 team in the country.
Demetrius Taylor just swallowed up Montrell Johnson. Whole, like that gator swallowed up that chicken, whatever it was eating.
Boy, big number 9. You talk about strike and shed for a defensive lineman. That's getting your hands on an offensive lineman, keeping him at bay, and then getting him off of you to be able to go make a play. He excels in that area on film.
Give to Johnson this time. He breaks through. Showing some speed to midfield. Tackled at the 47. Ball comes loose. And it looks like the Cajuns have fallen on it. A player down as Errol Rogers was able to at least recover the fumble. Let's see where they mark it. And it looks like they're going to mark it as a fumble and mark it where Rogers came down with it. Rogers is shaken up a little bit still on the turf, and we have a Mountaineer down as well right here at midfield. That might be Sean Jolly, and that's bad news for App State if that's the case. Kyron Lacey is down for the Cajuns. As you see the ball pop out, Jolly was the one who forced the fumble. Number 3 in white.
I think Stephen Jones may have even been in there. Watch Jones right here. 6 is going to rip. There it is. Just yank that thing out of there.
Now the question is whether Montrell Johnson was down or on top of Jolly is what it looked like. We'll take a look at it, and hopefully these players are all right. We'll update you on their conditions when we come back. For the Cajuns, look at this last play, Cole.
You see the strip. Stephen Jones right there's going to get the ball out. Jolly kind of he's a little tied up as he comes down.
After review, they reviewed that he was down before the fumble, so he's here at the 49-yard line. Montrell Johnson with a big run, now the fake to him. Lewis will look to throw, steps up, goes deep again, has a receiver. What a beautiful throw and catch. That's Michael Jefferson. Coaching staff talked about him all week long. They're finding ways to get him the ball, lining him up all over the field, and they certainly did a great job getting him the ball on that play.
It's another big target for the Raging Cajuns. And the patience from Levi Lewis in the pocket. Nice play action, gets good protection, able to step up in that pocket and takes a big hit. But this is on a dime.
Oof.
Just feed it to that backside shoulder, young man.
Lewis to throw again, pressure off the edge. Flushing him out of the pocket into the end zone and just throws that one away. Nick Hampton was there to force him out.
Crafty little play action there from Levi Lewis. I'm not sure if he gave it an extra spin on his own. Play action going to be big for this team tonight. They want to force this App State defense to roll down into the box. They want to keep them committed to the run. Then you get those shot plays. We've already seen 2 shot plays for the Raging Cajuns tonight. And Billy Napier told us we wanted to improve that. We've needed to improve that. And if we get that going, we feel like our offense can have sustained success.
They also want to force Levi Lewis to his right. Left-handed quarterback has so much more success when he rolls to his left in his strong arm. Get to Johnson. Not a whole lot of running room there. Dre Cobb met him right in the hole.
Caleb Sperlin forces that cutback. 97. One of those guys you hate playing against. 5'11", 245, 250. I hated the short guys, short stocky guys, because they're always got leverage. They're always going to get the pad level below yours. He gives you great quickness inside as well. Not going to be the best at holding the point of attack. Obviously a little bit light, but there, slants right into that outside zone play, able to force the cutback.
3rd and 10. Lewis to his big receiver in the corner of the end zone. Big fight for the ball, and Stevens couldn't come down with it. Now we get flags, several of them. Dante Small was trying to play large in the corner, and just a little bit too much grabbing. Back and forth, though.
This is where the Raging Cajuns, total opposite of App State when they get near the red zone.
Pass interference. Defense, number 8. The ball will be placed on the 2-yard line. First down.
You have the ability to go 6'3", 6'3", 6'5", 6'6", across the board. You grab the jersey, Cotter, you're going to probably get in trouble. They'll let you push, let you hand fight a little bit. Not going to be able to yank on that jersey because that is preventing the receiver to be able to make a play on the ball. You see the jersey right there ripped down.
Yeah, that was the best angle, that from the front where you saw the jersey tug. So it'll be 1st and goal. Sean Clark barking instructions with this.
Boy, he knows it too. You had a 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
Right down there. Defense able to step up, get a good big stop on the road. Cannot have that flag.
Lewis sprints out to his left. Into the end zone, has a receiver. That's Lacey.
Chris, you brought it up a little bit earlier. How Dale Jones, the defensive coordinator for App State, told us, we want to force Levi Lewis to his right. Billy Napier's designing everything to his left, and they're able to get it. Now, Lewis makes a little bit of this happen on his own, but a design read play.
Lacey was shaken up. I don't think he's shaken up anymore. He's had a big first quarter. Point after by Snyder is good, 14-3. Cajuns in front of this home crowd. They know how big this game is. They've seen plenty of big games in Sun Belt action, and they're getting one tonight.
Well, play action, and Lewis gets in space, and he just has the ability to extend plays. Scramble drill, Lacey back of the end zone. Let's go get it.
That's got to be the touchdown chain, I guess. He had some sort of a staff with him moments ago.
Love it. It's like Rampage Jackson over there on the sideline. Junkyard dog.
Yeah, getting close to the end of this first quarter. And, boy, so many things that we talked with coaches about this week. How about working on Levi Lewis all year about going downfield and making big plays? This team has made big plays all year long, and they've continued that.
When you can run the ball the way that this group consistently can, those shots are going to be there. It's the accuracy part that needed to come with it. Lewis knew he needed to work on it. It was his point of emphasis personally this offseason. It's pretty apparent it's paying off.
Jalen Virgil now on his 5. It's popping, stays on his feet, but fumbles the football. There's a scramble forward at the 30. This could be a huge turnover early on in the game. And it looks like the Mountaineers have come out there with it.
That is a big, big recovery for App State. Woo! Jar that football loose.
Looked like a helmet right on it. 22. Got that headgear right on that football. Mountaineer fans had their hearts in their throats for a moment there. You're down 14-3 on the road. You didn't want to give the football right back to the Cajuns deep in your own territory. So now a little bit of a reprieve. Chase Bryce with an opportunity led his team down to a field goal in their first drive of the game. Noel tries that right side, picks up 3.
Have to get this established if you're Sean Clark. You know it's got to go. Frank Ponce is not going to get away from the run. Appalachian State's not going to get away from the run. And you already see Patrick Toney, the Cajuns defensive coordinator, he is keeping safeties down. Percy Butler will be an NFL safety. He's playing right at the line of scrimmage on that last play, screaming down from the backside to be able to help on that tackle. Now more 2-deep look.
Fake to Noel. Now Bryce is going deep. He has a receiver and just overshoots his man Corey Sutton. Sutton's the one that could take the top off it for this Appalachian State offense.
Felt like this was a bit of a trigger blitz from Lorenzo McCaskill. Number 2, the inside linebacker for the Raging Cajuns. A little bit of a delay. Saw that there was going to be extra protection, decides to come. He got that hit on Chase Bryce that forced that ball to float just a little bit. Now you've got to generate some sort of a pass rush here. Another comfortable passing down for your defense. Andre Jones, 10 on the outside. He brings the extra length. One of the better pass rushers for this Cajun defense. He'll be up top of your screen.
3rd down and 7. Bryce flushed from the pocket. Still flushed. Now he'll go down. Ball comes loose. Fans on that far side think they have it, and they do. Recovered by Percy Butler. Now that's a mistake that we're used to seeing Chase Bryce of old make. Not this year so far.
We thought that momentum was about to roll back with the Cajuns.
Ruling on the field is a back
Tries to
pass.
just sort of push past that thing back to Nate Noel. Obviously, lateral ball travels backwards. Right, they're just trying to make a play. That's tough. Noel about a yard away. You don't know the velocity that ball is going to hit you at. Just trying to spot it. You're moving around. Bodies everywhere. There's a twist off the left side of that offensive line. And Percy Butler came through initially with the pressure, forced Chase Bryce to move, and then the cleanup job gets the ball back to the Cajuns offense.
Lewis, sudden change. Steps up, receiver wide open. Inside the 10, down at the 4. That's his tight end, Johnny Lumpkin, spreading the wealth. Lots of receivers getting touches tonight for the Cajuns.
If you have any questions about whether or not Levi Lewis can put a little zip on the football, there's that sort of 360 play action again. Whoop! Right on time. Johnny Lumpkin, you talk to this coaching staff, they'll tell you this young man can be as good as he wants to be. 6'6", 275. Can run. Really nice red zone threat at tight end. Somebody they move around a lot. Helps them out in the run game.
Speaking of the run game, here's Chris Smith just lowering his shoulder. Pyle pushing toward the goal line. They'll get him stopped at the 1.
Again, the right side of that offensive line. Saibo, Osiris Torrance at right guard. Max Mitchell at right tackle. Those are the glass eaters for this Raging Cajuns offensive line. You need a push, you need a yard, you need an inch. That's the group you're going behind.
Osiris is 6'5", 335. Road grader. Coming up on the final minute of this first quarter. Very fruitful first quarter for Louisiana. Trying to add to it. Right to the goal line, not going to happen. That was Smith again, just couldn't power his way in. This defense standing up tall here for the Mountaineers.
Nice play by DeMarco Jackson, 52. We'll call his name a lot tonight. Very active inside linebacker for App State. He shoots the gap there. A little bit of commotion he causes in the backfield for the Raging Cajuns. The cut had to happen a little bit too early. He'd be a risk taker sometimes. Likes to shoot the gap. Doesn't necessarily wait for plays to develop. And he hits a lot of them. He'll hit some home runs doing it, but obviously at times can open things up for explosive plays.
Smith again. This time he walks in. Cajuns are celebrating tonight in Lafayette. 20 spot on the board in the first quarter.
Just inside zone to the left, and a wonderful job by that offensive line, kind of staying a little bit flatter, most likely expecting movement from the App State defensive line. You stay a little bit more flat, the slant comes, you're able to handle it, it stays in front of you a little bit longer, you pick that up, you're able to get you running back in for a touchdown.
Try is no good, so the Louisiana lead will remain 20-3. App State only giving up 20 points per game all season long. What a college football Saturday lineup we have for you on both ABC and on ESPN. You mentioned Desmond Ridder moments ago. UCF at Cincinnati. They'll start at noon. Purdue at Iowa. Iowa coming off a huge win against Penn State last week. Good for them that they're at home. They are lucky that they don't have to go on the road and get a trap game to this upcoming weekend.
Right there, you got your Heisman Trophy candidate playing for Iowa. Tyler Linderbaum at center. Get the Heisman campaign going.
Oh, get it going. Well,
he is the most fun player to watch in college football this year. That guy can reach a 4-eye from the center position. He is as good laterally at that position that I've seen really since I've been studying college football. Got a lot of quickness, got a lot of power. He is the ultimate finisher. Just a war daddy at center for the Iowa Hawkeyes. He makes that thing go.
If anybody can sell an Iowa center, it's Cole Kubelik.
Get the Heisman campaign going. Who else is taking this thing? Who else is taking the Heisman? Nobody. Nobody wants it.
It doesn't look like it's going to be an Oklahoma quarterback. We're not sure who it's going to be, though. We'll see them against TCU Saturday. Virgil with another opportunity. Tries to get to the outside, knocked out of bounds at the 27.
Kickoff return by number 11.
I say this too, Chris. People think this is probably why I don't have a Heisman vote. Because Quentin Nelson would have been my number one on my ballot when he was at Notre Dame. Quentin Williams at Alabama would have been number one. I might have Jordan Davis at Georgia on my Heisman ballot as well. I don't even know how many votes. What do they give you? 3, 5, 7? I don't even know how many they allow you
How
to vote
deep
for.
you can go, right?
Yeah, they don't want me on that thing. There'd be too many linemen showing up every year. But I might have Jordan. Jordan Davis impacts the game for the Georgia Bulldogs as much as anybody.
Do you have a Remington vote? They might give you an Outland vote.
Nah, just go Joe Moore Award, man. And I don't have a vote for that, but I do help organize it with Aaron Taylor.
Here's Jameer Smith. New look at running back for App State. He's dropped by A.J. Riley. Yards are tough to come by for this App State offense in this first quarter. Not so much for Louisiana. Levi Lewis has been stellar. Big lead for the home team. At home, Chris Cotter and Cole Kubelik with you. Important drive here for Chase Bryce, just to right the ship a little bit, give his defense a break after a turnover, put him right back on the field moments ago. Bryce now rolling. Can't connect with his receiver, Malik Williams, rather.
I feel like he had time to set up there if he needed to. Could have kind of throttled down, tried to deliver a little bit of a better ball.
3rd and 8. Don't want a 3 and out here, not at all. Smith now in the backfield. Give to Smith. Good running on the right side, but that's not going to be enough to pick up the first down. Conservative call, down 20-3.
You get the look that you like. Safety rolls down late. I tell you, give Jameer Smith a lot of credit because that was a good 4 to 6 yards after contact, which actually felt like it was going to be him in range, but now you see the spot and it's not even really in range. This twice on 3rd and long, Chris, we've seen Sean Clark kind of go to the ground. Frank Ponce just feels like going to be able to pick up what they need via the run. Obviously, some of that determined by the looks, but very conservative early on here for Appalachian State.
Xavier Subach into punt. Low line drive, fair caught by Eric Guerrer. Even though he may have had some room to run, opts for the safety of the fair catch. Levi Lewis, great first quarter.
Not conservative for Levi Lewis. Second play of the game. Whoop, let's go get him up top. Dropping dimes. Shows you how elusive he can be. He needs to get outside of the pocket. 4-5, 119 yards, touchdown, 3-yard rushing touchdown on the day. You see another little corner route there that he was able to get down the field. Play action has been exceptional for the Raging Cajuns, and then Lewis, he just needs to get it done. He is tough to bring down in the open field.
Lonnie Bailey now in motion, empty backfield. Lewis has time, steps up too high, and that's not easy to do when John Stevens is trying to bring it down. He's 6'5", TCU transfer, can't make the catch.
I tell you what, though, first off, you got to have this ball, Chris. You got to catch this football. I love the way Levi Lewis slows this ball down. How many times do we see crossers in college quarterbacks are throwing that thing 100 miles an hour? Just another area that shows you that veteran presence from Levi Lewis running this offense.
Billy Napier couldn't have asked for a better start for his team tonight. They're going to keep it going here in the second quarter. Again, misconnects, trying to find Stevens on the outside.
Had some space. That ball sails just a tad, but you'd hope your receiver be able to help you out some. RPO there. Liked what he saw in coverage. Decides to pull it and shoot it out. Haven't seen the Raging Cajuns with many 3rd and longs tonight.
That's what they have here, 3rd down and 10. Bailey again in motion out of the backfield. A little bit of pressure, and then App State backed out of it. Dante Fleming made the catch, but could do nothing with it.
I think they're trying to work a little bit of a screen up top, ball low. Took Dante Fleming to the ground, so unable to continue that play. And that's the first time we've seen
Back to the seat.
the rhythm of this Cajuns offense just not feel like they're on the same page.
Now punting for the Cajuns, number 47, Reese Burns.
Reese Burns is a Ray Guy candidate, averaging almost 46 yards a punt. Thomas Hennigan will stand back with his heels on his own 39 for App State. Ball gets a modest, wow. Hennigan falling on it after I was going to say a modest roll for the Cajuns. App State on offense when we come back. After 3 straight touchdown drives allowed, that App State defense bowling up, forcing their first 3 and out. Now Chase Bryce with the football back from his own 37. Play action. Contact downfield. Sutton wanted a flag, won't get it. Frank Ponce, offensive coordinator, first year here with the calls.
That was the first pass on first down for App State since their first drive, which obviously was the best drive of the night. Trying to mix things up here a little bit more. Mentioned earlier, the best plan is the simple plan. That's what he told me before the game, but this defense feels like they have a little bit of a beat early on.
2nd down and 10. Play action to nobody, but Bryce now over the middle hits a tight end. And that's going to be a nice gain for Mike Evans. Just his 3rd catch of the year. It'll move the sticks.
Mike Evans, he's really nice in the run game. There you see the play action. Suck up those linebackers. You don't have to be super fast to be able to make a play when you have that kind of spacing. It just shows you the amount of respect that Patrick Toney and this defense have for App State's rushing attack.
Bryce, Noel, and company now back into Cajun territory. Give the Noel on the outside. It's his old man, and that disrupts the timing there. They got no shot. Pedesclo and company closed it down.
When I talked to Wes Neighbors, the safeties coach, before the game, he said, I'm going to play 6 tonight. I'll play 6 safeties in this game. He's got 6 guys that he feels like he can split the reps with, keep them fresh, keep them motivated. But that's the depth that the Raging Cajuns have on that side of the football, and that's one part of it. You're going to play this defense for Patrick Toney. You're going to play safety for Wes Neighbors. Guy played at Alabama. Brother played down the road at LSU. You're going to have to come up, play the run. Have to be aggressive, have to be physical.
Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. Cajuns bring 4. Bryce does a nice job of checking down, hitting Williams. Give him about 7 or 8 on the play. It'll bring him 3rd and short.
Chase Bryce has been pretty comfortable in the pocket most of tonight. Took 1 hit on a deep throw 2 drives ago, but for the most part, he's been able to operate in a comfortable manner. Now, this is just one of those in-between situations where, I mean, what have we seen? 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10. They've gone to the run. Frank Ponce has dialed up that outside zone, so now you're sitting here about a 3rd and 4, where you'd feel like, all right, outside zone could work. Play action to me would be the call because you've shown you'll run it on 3rd down already.
He's got Noel, leading rusher in the conference. Instead, he goes out to Williams, and it's intercepted. Bounced off of Williams' shoulders, and Brandon Bishop holds it in. 2nd turnover of the day, and this is huge.
Pass is intercepted by number 25, Brandon Bishop. And that's a rare turnover for the Cajuns.
Chase Bryce has the coverage. Look how soft the coverage is. You don't have to wait for the route to develop, and you're going to pick up 1st down yardage. That's on Malik Williams. Have to catch that football. Kind of let it get into his body. Slips up off the arm, and a turnover for the Raging Cajuns. Brandon Bishop, right place, right time. Out of Hillcrest High School there in Tuscaloosa, right across the street from Alabama. High school teammate of Brian Robinson, Alabama running back.
Turnover shoulder pads for Bishop. Lewis right back out there, trying the run game, and Smith. Check that, Bailey.
DeAndre Dingle Prince with the penetration there. Another one of those shorter, squattier defensive linemen for App State. 6'2", 265, 270. When they get on the move going east and west, boy, it is tough to be able to keep penetration from getting upfield. The pad level is just so low. They have great bursts.
Mountaineers showing a little pressure on the edge. They come with 4. Lewis over the middle. Nice move by his tailback, Amani Bailey, to pick up what he can. It'll bring up third and a little more manageable.
That's a pretty nice job by Ken Marks at left tackle, 67. Just runs the blitzer by. It's fine. Just get him upfield, and then you can sort of use that pit arm, as we call it. Hit that right hand on him, just turn him and run him past the pocket. How about the comfort of Levi Lewis? I mean, he's got blitz coming. The confidence that his offensive line is going to pick it up. Just step up in the pocket, wait, and just check it down to your back.
3rd down and 6. Looks like we're going to get a timeout on the field. Wait to hear from our referee, Jeremy Parker.
Louisiana. It's their first charge of the half.
Louisiana calls it. They'll talk it over. 3rd down when we come back. The NFL last weekend. Not only Sunday, Monday night's game, Lamar Jackson and company, that was nuts. So this Monday night, we got Bills and Titans. How good are the Bills? Best team in the AFC? Monday at 8 o'clock, find out if they can take care of the Titans.
Josh Allen got it going. Finally got him some weapons, offensive lines, ripping.
Fun to watch.
Absolutely.
I don't know if any team is as fun to watch as Baltimore right now, though, Lamar Jackson, but that's up for debate. Those fans have had fun watching this one tonight. Cajuns with the 20-3 lead here in the second quarter. Chase Bryce can't put it all on his shoulders, but the big bugaboo for him at Duke last year were turnovers. 21 turnovers he was responsible for, was running for his life. That offensive line gave up 37 sacks last year, the Blue Devils, and transferred in January to take over for Zach Thomas, longtime starter here, and he's been great all year. Just so far in this first half, those 2 turnovers have put this team in a difficult spot. Now a big 3rd down here as this defense tries to get off the field again. Lewis will look to throw. Has time over the middle and has his receiver, Dante Fleming. COVID freshman. Converts.
Excellent protection, and just find a way to work zone coverage. This little stop route. You see a little twist at the bottom of your screen, and then Fleming, an excellent job finding that space, get back, locate the football. Levi Lewis just looks so comfortable. You talk about a young man that has command of his offense, command of his unit. He just oozes it.
And 4 isn't getting any pressure on him, is it? That's really what App State's coming with. Now a little pressure, and they get him, just as I say that, on the outside. Nick Hampton was there. Joined by some others, Cole, and they didn't give him a chance.
No, that was going to be another shot play to Kyron Lacey. Had 2 on the post. So it's play action protection. A little confusion over on the right side. Johnny Lumpkin, the tight end. You see him getting mixed up there with the right side of that offensive line.
I'm going to tell you, Demetrius Taylor can run for a 290-pound fella. He got in the backfield in a hurry. There's Dale Jones, defensive coordinator, dialed up that pressure. Now 2nd and long. Flag down. They'll blow this one dead before it even gets started.
Yeah, freeze play. Raging Cajuns run this a lot. They've had some success with it.
False start. Offense number 18. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
All right, so you don't move. You snap the football if you get movement across the line of scrimmage. And I'm not sure there, even if it's not a false start on the Raging Cajuns, that you had the offsides. Now, the ball snap, you just go.
Right.
Play the play. But if your offensive line doesn't move, it's also could be a free hitter on your quarterback.
Bizarre. It's 5 yards backwards, and this is the wrong way for the Cajuns. 2nd down, 20. Lewis to throw. Pressure up the middle. Sidesteps it. Now he connects with big old number 7. That's going to be a 1st down. John Stevens The TCU transfer shows his strength, dragging defenders to move the chains.
Boy, an excellent job. Watamani Bailey, running back, blitz pickup. That allows Lewis to sort of slide to the opposite side of the pocket and deliver a strike.
Here's LeBlanc. As the Cajuns look to move quickly, out of bounds after 5 yards.
Boy, one of the stick guys got the worst of Peter LeBlanc down there. Hoping he's okay. We've seen him come in motion and retract a couple of times now there. Levi Lewis finally going to hit him. Probably noticed that the 2 previous times it wasn't covered. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Napier kind of let him know, hey, you're going to be able to get that one out in the flat. They're giving it to us.
Bailey tries the middle of that defense. Nothing doing. Clark was there.
And trying to switch up the run a little bit there. So you saw zone to the right. Play's going to hit backside. Duo run play there that the Cajuns trying to hit. Sometimes when that penetration's coming flat a little bit too much, you go ahead and block with it, but then you're going to ask your running back just to hit it backside. Nobody staying home. A lot of times you'll see some big plays peel off with Duo.
Empty backfield. Montrell Johnson is in the game, but he's split up to the top of your screen. Tight end in motion. Lewis can't handle the snap. Now the timing's all messed up. He's going to have to get it on his own. Throws it dangerously and is almost picked off. Stephen Jones was there to knock the ball away. That play was kind of haphazard from the get-go.
Wild snap and a nice job of Lewis just to sort of manage it and gather it in and then elude the pressure, but this is dangerous. That was almost a massive play by Stephen Jones. A good recovery. You see there, it appears as though Michael Jefferson is going to be able to sort of get out in space, maybe even create a big play. Jones stepped right in front of it.
With their kicking issues we talked about, they're going to go for it here from the 31. 4th down, 4 yards. Lewis to throw. A little bit of pressure. Easily finds his receiver. That's Errol Rogers Jr. Yet more receivers getting involved.
Something Billy Napier told me a couple of years ago when I called one of his games here with the Raging Cajuns. We don't necessarily have to feature a receiver in this offense. We're going to look at matchups, and we're going to get guys open based on the favorable matchups that we get. We don't need to force feed the football to anyone. And I think that's on full display tonight.
Well, they have 14 pass catchers on the year. Different pass catchers coming in. Lewis has a receiver wide open here. That's going to be Rogers, and he's forced out of bounds inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal.
Pass complete to number 6.
So those two have hooked up a couple of times now on this drive.
Errol Rogers, the local product, is coming right out in the flat. Once again, Levi Lewis understanding where the pressure's coming from, able to elude, keeps the eyes downfield, delivers a nice ball on the run.
Another time-consuming drive. Helped out by that 4th down pickup. Johnson on the Wildcat. Flag down on the far side as Johnson gets nothing.
Montrell Johnson, like the little pirouette into the Wildcat. Auburn fans began to sob seeing that.
More than 4 in the backfield. Offense. Be a 5-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
Well, now a lot of movement
Correction.
sometimes
1st down.
results in some 5-yard infractions, and that's what's happening right now for Louisiana. They move back once again. Still 1st down, 1st and goal, but now they'll have to scrimmage from the 10.
The fact they're moving the football on this drive with the penalties that keep bumping them back, it's just a pretty resilient drive here for the Raging Cajuns.
Give to Johnson. Busting his way for yardage. That's a good 4-yard gain. That's about as good of a 4-yard run as you'll see, carrying defenders with him.
Love to see your back just grinding yards out. And we are approaching a read, keep, and hitting that splitter. That tight end splitter that I've been telling you about that comes flat across the line of scrimmage, because the App State defense not necessarily staying with that individual. Levi Lewis is going to have an opportunity soon to pull one of those and dump it right out, with most likely not going to have a defender home with it.
They send Montrell Johnson now split to the top of your screen, 2nd down and goal.
This is where you get your rub routes up top with the bunch set.
Lewis looking to the bottom of the screen, going up top. Couldn't hit Stevens. Well defended that time by Stephen Jones.
John Stevens, the TCU transfer. He's a guy that Rob Sale, the former offensive line coach, offensive coordinator here with the Cajuns, had a connection at TCU, checked out his character, thought he'd be a good fit here in the program. Great character kid, has done everything that they've asked him to do since he arrived. And why not? You get 6'5", 225.
On 5'10".
Take your shot.
Yeah.
Take your shot. Go get the rebound, buddy. We feel pretty confident you'll be able to haul that one in.
Couldn't connect, though, so it's 3rd down and goal. Johnson again split at the top. App State showing a little pressure here. They come with it. Lewis to the end zone. His receiver wouldn't turn around, and that time Jones picked it off. Big turnover in the end zone. Forced by this Mountaineer team. The defense is hanging tough, bending but not breaking in the face of this onslaught from the Cajuns.
Starts with confusion on the right side of the offensive line. Max Mitchell's going to squeeze down. Not sure he had to. That gives the free runner, and Levi Lewis rushes that pass. Big turnover for App State as we go to break.
All right, JC, I think it's got to be Cole. I can tell you if it's cardio, it's Cole. Cole's got that, you know.
I'll take the cardio crown.
Yeah.
I'll let you have the bench press for right now. I've been laying off the bench for a while. I'm trying to lean up. I don't need the mass anymore.
Happy birthday, Trevor Madish, by the way. That guy's been doing halftime support for Fun Belt games since, like, Jake Delhomme was playing in the league. So even though he's only 37, we'll see him at the half along with JC. This is a big drive right here for Chase Bryce and company.
It is. Plenty of time. You can still just run your offense. No need to rush. No need to hurry things up.
They'll get a big run here. Close to a 1st down. Datrick Harrington. Mountaineer fans are loving the fact that number 4 is playing. Injured himself last year, had 595 yards last year. That's his first carry of the season.
This is one thing that I love that App State does, just the way they mix and match the run game a little bit more. So it's outside zone, but they'll lock the backside there. But then you also get an insert from your fullback, which is tight end 88 Henry Pearson, lined up next to your quarterback. Just a little bit of a wrinkle to give you an extra blocker.
Fresh set of downs for Bryce. Going to Sutton. Oh, had him. Flag down. It just goes through Sutton's arms. The coverage by Eric Guerrero was actually pretty good. But we got a flag. Let's check the call. It's got to be against Guerrero.
Pass interference. Defense, number 19. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Sutton is in phase. Excellent position. Oh, boy. I don't know if we missed a little something before the replay picked it up there. I don't really feel like we did.
Right through his arms.
You said that, but it was almost exaggerated. I wonder if he had trouble locating that football, because it's almost like he squeezed his hands together, not really sure if the ball was going to be there.
A little bit of a reprieve. 1st down. Noel gets slung out of bounds by Farrod Gardner. They called him their best sideline-to-sideline linebacker. He showed it there.
Now you also see why Mason Narcisse is one of the most explosive defensive linemen that this team has as well. Big 90, setting the edge. When I say setting the edge, I mean forcing the edge about 2 yards back into the backfield. Not a comfortable spot for your running back when he's trying to press the line of scrimmage. Forces that play to bounce out, and then obviously clean linebacker over the top makes the play.
Noel only 19 yards rushing on the day. Leading rusher in the Sun Belt Conference. That's going to be a face mask as Malik Williams and flags come flying all over the place. He's right at the 1st down marker, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Not often you get every flag on the play.
Every one.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 2. 15 yards out of the end of the run. 1st down.
Even with my bad eyesight, I saw this one from up here.
No, that's big. It's big Big penalty because good protection. Chase Bryce delivers the strike. Malik Williams, nice catch. And yeah, that's a yank. It's a big one. And obviously a big penalty.
Lorenzo McCaskill got a whole handful of face masks. So now as the clock is at 1:52, and we talked about how important a drive this was for Chase Bryce and the Mountaineers. Now threatening. Fake to Noel. Bryce has all kinds of time and has a receiver. Nice job defending on the play. Coming back to it was Percy Butler. One of those safeties you talk about, Cole.
Well, there's a reason that Phil Savage of the New York Jets is at this game tonight, and the first guy that he pointed out to me was Percy Butler on the sideline when I talked to him before the game. He said this is going to be an NFL safety. Said he thinks he can be a little bit of a hybrid safety at the next level. A lot of scouts are impressed with how he plays the game. Showed you some closing speed there, great instincts. That was a completion. And Percy Butler just negated it with an individual effort.
Fake to Noel. Back shoulder play. That's going to be a first down, assuming that the play stands. Christian Horn comes down with it, but we've got flags all over the play. That might be a push-off on Horn. Speculating a little bit here. We'll wait to hear from Jeremy Parker. A lot of flags on this drive.
Prior to the pass, holding defense, number 16. That penalty's declined. Result of the play is a first down.
A.J. Washington, I stand corrected, Cole.
Here's the matchup up top. Once again,
You're miffed?
obviously some contact, some hand fighting there, but a hold, not there at least.
First down, Noel. Tried to bounce it inside, met by Manak. Give him a couple. Plenty of time. Mountaineers have all 3 timeouts in a minute and a half, so the clock is not the issue here. It's picking up a first down here, and they can get one at the 6-yard line. That really is.
That really keeps the playbook open for offensive coordinator Frank Ponce. And we know the ground game, the stretch play, is where App State wants to build their neighborhood. Don't have to get too far away from it here because of the clock.
Noel tries to bounce it. Can't. Oh, Andre Jones had a whole handful of them and brought him down for a loss. Now it's third down and long. And Louisiana's going to call a timeout here.
Timeout, Louisiana. It's their second charge timeout.
Third down for the Mountaineers when we come back. Big day Saturday in college football on ABC. Check out that noon game, UCF and Cincinnati. Once Cole gets finished voting for centers and right guards for the Heisman, he might throw a vote Desmond Ritter's way. He's going to have a big game, though, against UCF at noon. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Big play here. Third down. They can get a first down at the 6-yard line. Bryce. Play draw. Can't spin out of the tackle. Coming up from the safety, Braylon Trahan. Now what do you do on fourth down?
I thought the question with that play call was, are you playing for a field goal or are you playing for a touchdown?
Their final charge timeout will be a 30-second timeout duration.
So you got 4th and 4 right here.
Actually didn't hate the play call when I saw it. Now, I know Chase Bryce, not the most fleet-of-foot quarterback we have in college football. I'd like to have seen a little more urgency getting north and south. I don't really expect him to make a lot of guys miss, but if you're playing for a touchdown, that changes your play calling on third down there. So don't have an issue trying to put yourself in a little bit better of a situation.
You saw Frank Ponce, the offensive coordinator, began his career working for Mario Cristobal at FIU from the Miami area. Came up through the ranks, was years here at App State under Coach Satterfield, was even with him at Louisville last year. Now calling the plays, and this is a big one. They're going to go for the field goal. Staten comes on. Made a 31-yarder earlier. This is 27. And Staten makes the kick. 20-6. And a conservative first half, I would say, in general across the board for App State and Sean Clark. But, Cole, I think you were making the point during the commercial break. Because of the missed extra point by Louisiana, it's not such a bad play to go for the three because you're down 14 points.
It's not. I think that decision becomes a little bit easier there to still keep this 3-score game. As you see the Sun Belt standings, Coastal Carolina, Jamie Chadwell just doing an amazing job again. Grayson McCall, Isaiah Likely, quarterback, tight end. That offensive line's playing good ball this year. It feels like a much more comfortable situation than they're in. I mean, still tied atop the standings with Appalachian State and Louisiana.
Owning the West, huh? That East, though, you got Coastal and App State in Boone next Wednesday, which I'm sure will be a little bit cooler weather than we're having here today.
They're not going to be melting.
No, Boone
altitude.
Boone is so gorgeous. I'm sure the leaves are already changing up there in Boone. Here they're just dying from the heat.
Kind of like you and I. I feel like a dead leaf right now.
Chris Smith back to return this kick. Still 44 seconds left to go in the first half. A couple of timeouts, or no timeouts, I should say, for Louisiana. So they burn their timeouts just to get the ball back with some time on it. Flags down. Smith is running for his life, and he's not going to get very far. To the 15, let's check the marker.
Coach Napier used that last time out on the 4th down play, most likely thinking that it was going to be an attempt to the end zone. Wanted to give Patrick Toney a chance to talk to his defense, so probably not going to get too much of a shot down the field here before half.
Big discussion on the field. It's Billy Napier. Now the issue is if App State has 3 timeouts on the board in 35 seconds, they can use all 3 of those. Still waiting on word from Jeremy Parker, our referee on the night. He wants to have a word with Napier. At this point, I would take naval flags, smoke signals, anything.
There are fouls on both teams.
Okay.
There's a holding on the receiving team. Number 34. There's also a face mask, personal foul on the kicking team. Those fouls will offset. We will re-kick.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing for Napier because at the 15-yard line with 35 seconds, you're not going to even try anything. Now, at least, maybe if you get a really big return, you got something going. Chris Smith will head on back, and we will re-kick. Once again, Michael Hughes will kick it. 35 seconds left in this first half. App State with a field goal there in the last few seconds to maybe carry a little momentum and a little belief into the locker room, as they've held Louisiana scoreless in this second quarter. Over the head of Smith for a touchback. So if you're Coach Napier, what are you doing here with 35 seconds and from your own 25?
I'm just going to hit a little outside zone, give one of my running backs an opportunity, see he picks up something explosive, then maybe you have a chance to add something on, but nothing too high risk. Comfortable lead. Offense has been on point. Defense has played great football. Couple of mistakes, obviously a few of the flags. I mean, hell, we saw a 13-play drive with, 4 or 5 flags. It looked like it was going to stall the drive for the Cajuns, and they just kept moving down the field. clean a few of those things up in the second half. That'll be a big part of the conversation in the locker room for Billy Napier.
They have had some issues holding larger leads this season, but this is going to be a nice play on first down by Smith. Gets it to the 43. No timeouts for Louisiana, but now all of a sudden maybe you start to think differently. Kicking game is a little bit of an issue for the Cajuns. They're without their number one kicker. So that's something to keep in mind as they get closer to midfield and start thinking that way. Lewis has time out here to Lumpkin. He just steps out of bounds after a very short gain with 21 seconds. I don't know if that's going to get it.
Be able to have the veteran presence of a young man like Levi Lewis. I say young man, he's only been around for 7 years.
He's young, just like Trevor Maddich in studio.
But you saw where, right there, Chris, he can just turn it up and all of a sudden go 2-minute offense. He can just look over, probably give 1-2 calls. He knows exactly what they want to get into, knows exactly how to manage it.
Clock will stop on a first down. Second down and 5. Mountaineers look like they want to bring pressure. Now they bring just 3. Lewis can run if he chooses. Tries to get over the top. It's into double coverage. Ill-advised pass. Trey Cobb was there to break it up.
Now, I wouldn't call the interception in the end zone early necessarily a forced ball. I just felt like didn't put it to the back pylon and maybe had to get rid of it a little bit early because of pressure. This is the first ball that I think we've seen Levi Lewis just kind of force in. Maybe get a little bit greedy with there.
He did have some room to run in the middle of the field, too. And if he makes one guy miss, it could be a big gainer. He opted to try and get it through the pass, and now it's 3rd and 5 with just 13 ticks left to go. Might have 3 plays here, but you got to convert here on the first one. Quickly out to LeBlanc. Can't make a man miss. Great job coming up by Dante Small to make the tackle. And now if you're App State, I would think you call a timeout to force them to punt the ball.
Timeout. Appalachian State.
They do.
It's their first charge of the half. 30 seconds in duration.
Doesn't do any good taking him to the locker room. A lot can go bad on a punt.
Yeah.
We've seen it. So,
I mean, we had a snap over the punter's head in this game last year. That was a wild ending, by the way, last December. Cajuns broke through. Napier got his first win over App State. Driving rain up there at Boone.
You know, the problem is, you brought it up a little bit earlier, Chris. Raging Cajuns lead the Sun Belt in punting.
Yeah, they got a good punter in Reese Burns. He can just put all thoughts to rest here by putting that big right leg into it. He, of course, is from Melbourne.
Are they going to get the look that they want where he can kind of roll, eat a little extra clock even before he has to get rid of it? App State can get up on the line of scrimmage, show some pressure here.
They do come with it, and Burns, look at that punt. Into the end zone. No chance for Hennigan to do anything with it.
There is no foul. Number 24 was blocked into the punter. There is no foul.
And our clock hits triple zeros. 20-6 our halftime score to the studio. JC, Trevor Maddich, guys, take it away.
Thank you, Connor. Welcome into the Sling TV halftime.
Smith again. This time he walks in. Cajuns are celebrating tonight in Lafayette. You're watching College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks, getting set for the second half here in Lafayette, Louisiana. App State trailing by 14. That's their largest halftime deficit in almost exactly 4 years. That shows you how dominant of a team they've been, because it's only 14 points. The fact they're still in this game. And Coach Napier, early on this year, we decided to get rid of the jackets and we picked up T-shirts instead. They made these T-shirts here because of a quote that Coach Napier said in the Ohio game, right? And this is kind of fitting for them right here. They can't rest on their laurels at halftime because App State can put some points on the board and can defend. They shut them out in the second quarter.
Well, not only that, but the way they started out this game, there was no scared money for the Raging Cajuns. They came out firing. They came out taking shots down the field, very aggressive offensively. And I tell you what, this defensive line for the Raging Cajuns has no fear with the way that they've operated today, because this App State rushing attack, Chris, has not been able to get going.
40 yards in the first half for App State. They were 0 for 5 on third down. They're just going to have to improve in those areas. And there you see the deficit against Idaho. The Vandals come into play on that day.
You mentioned the rushing yards. App State did not convert a third down in the first half. Just a very impressive defensive performance from the Raging Cajuns.
Jalen Virgil to return this kick from his 15. Just hasn't been able to get on track today. Good coverage by the Raging Cajuns. And once again, we'll get a chance to see Chase Bryce. A couple of drives for Chase Bryce, in the first half, but led to only field goals.
And we saw him really on fire early. Initial drive, he was throwing some darts, just moving his team down the field sort of methodically, but did most of it through the air. But a lot of that's going to be predicated on play action, moving the pocket off that play action game as well. When the rushing attack is not going for this offense, it really changes how Patrick Toney can adjust things on the back end of his defense, be able to help in run support or add numbers on the back end.
You saw by those numbers, it almost always goes for them too. Bryce looking to throw here. Pressure coming. Now he's going to take a shot downfield as his man, but he overshoots Jalen Virgil, and that's tough to do. Virgil, a 10-2 100-meter guy, Sun Belt Conference champion in the 100 meters, as a matter of fact, and we couldn't run under that one.
And there's your shot. I like the aggressive call from Frank Ponce early on. You go play action, you get the one-on-one, just take it. And there wasn't safety help there, so pull your receiver back to the middle of the field. You don't have to drop that right over the top of him. Give him a chance to make an adjustment and potentially make a play.
2nd down and 10 to give to Noel. Gets through the initial hole, picks up about 5. That was Lorenzo McCaskill on the stop. Noel hadn't gotten going either. He's coming into the second half with just 22 yards rushing. Leading rusher in the conference coming in.
And it feels like the yards on the ground that App State's been able to come by, they've really had to just grind those out. This Raging Cajun defense is not giving up anything.
3rd and a long 4.
Now, Sonny Hazard's going to check in the middle of that defense. He's sort of their third down guy. A little more twitchy on the interior. 91 for that Raging Cajuns defense, trying to add some interior pass rush.
Pressure pickup, intercepted. Intercepted by Guerrer. And he's knocked out of bounds inside the 20. 3rd turnover of the night for this App State team. And once again, Louisiana is set up in the red zone after the turnover.
What a play from the veteran corner. Bottom of your screen. Look at him break on the ball. Boom. Knows right away what the route's going to be. Able to jump it, able to get right back in phase, knows that ball is going to be delivered. And that's what you get from a guy that is a 3-year starter in this defense. That's just a massive play from Eric Guerrer.
6th career interception, the junior from Mobile. And talked about Bryce's difficulties last year at Duke. Responsible for 21 turnovers on the season, and that turnover bug hasn't really hurt him this year. He's been done so well in this offense, but today, 3 turnovers already for this team, a couple of picks from Bryce, and once again, Levi Lewis is in business. Give to Smith, nothing doing. Trey Cobb comes in from that middle linebacker spot to make the stop. This defense has been put in some pretty bad spots so far tonight, and they've actually responded after that first quarter pretty well.
Well, you clamp down late, grab an interception off one drive, that 13-play drive that you were able to grab the turnover off of, and you mentioned it, be it turnover or just field position in general, defense hadn't been in great spots. And outside of the explosive plays, it hasn't been that bad. I mean, the rushing attack busted a few runs, but it hasn't been a consistent ground game.
Smith, there's a big hole there, cuts it back inside. He'll run into the end zone.
Who needs consistency when you can bust explosive plays on the ground.
21 yards for number 21. That lead extended.
Chris Smith, just an athlete. Played 4 sports in high school. Split zone, see the tight end come across, and that is a big boy block from Shane Below at center. One thing Jeff Nord, the offensive line coach, has done really well here with the Raging Cajuns offensive line. Plays like that, he'll get strong with one hand. And they'll go ahead and kick it out instead of continue to ride it, and that opens up those seals backside.
Snyder converts. 21 points, largest lead of the night for Louisiana.
Here's the interception. Get right back into the route and then jump the football to give your offense great field position and then pound it right back into the end zone.
(27-6) our score, largest lead of the night for Louisiana. Louisiana came into this game having forced just 3 turnovers on the year. Tonight they've forced 3 alone, and they've scored 13 points off those turnovers. That's really a big story of the game. Virgil. Can he break loose? Hasn't been able to tonight, but he does here. Does he stay in bounds? No, he goes out. If he stays in bounds there, he may have been gone. Still a big return, and that's exactly what Chase Bryce needs. Let's go back to the score.
We'll take a look at this touchdown run by Chris Smith. So center left guard, what you're going to want to watch, you're going to get a little slant to the left side of your screen as well. But watch 64, Shane Below, linebacker approaches right there. It's extending that arm. It's going to create a little bit of a seal. This is just a nice job here by Osiris Torres. Saibo, he's a big body. He takes up 2. You get one-on-one with a safety, you got to make the safety miss. There's been a lot of offensive line turnover here in Lafayette. DJ Looney, who was an assistant coach, unfortunately lost his life. He was just a magical personality. Rob Sale moves on to the Giants, and now Jeff Nord, the new offensive line coach, doing a nice job. We know him as Hedge. Around coaching circles probably know him that as well. This is a guy that's got a really solid coaching resume, but about 3 years ago, Chris, he was spotting for Jordan Rodgers up in the booth.
Well, that is an important job.
Listen, I'm not kidding.
Right.
Jordan doesn't even need a spotter, but Hedge would travel with us, went around with us on the STC network for the Saturday night game, and he was an excellent resource to be able to have with us because the guy knows football. I love talking O-line play with him. Obviously, he's got an O-line background and now doing a nice job here for Billy Napier on this staff. But, you know, Hedge been around a lot of places, done a lot of good things. Don't take him to Fayetteville, but, you know, he's a guy that has done an excellent job here for this Raging Cajuns offensive line.
It's all worked out well for him tonight. 3-score lead, and now Chase Bryce, after getting a couple from Williams on that push pass, back in the pocket. Has plenty of time. Now rolling to his right. He'll opt to just keep it and get what he can. Takes a big hit. Flag comes out. Andre Jones made the stop. He's going to be short, and now some tempers are flaring a little bit, and another flag. Bryce took a big pop. You could hear it up here. He's just about a yard shy of the sticks, but then you had some of his offensive linemen, Isaiah Helms, coming to his defense. Let's see it.
Oh no, I don't think Helms had anything to do with the quarterback here. He was just trying to get some on his own. It's just Isaiah Helms giving you a little bit of nasty. Now, Sean Clark is going to say, I love the aggressiveness. I love you finishing the play, but we have to be intelligent. We just got great position on this kick return. We're going to pick up positive yards on this play, and a little bit too much is going to cost our football team.
The officials discussing it here, and it looked like the first flag came out on the hit to Bryce, and then the last flag was on Isaiah Helms. Let's get the word from Jeremy Parker.
Play. Number 94, Louisiana, playing without a helmet. That is a live ball foul. And number 68, unsportsmanlike conduct, Appalachian State. That is a dead ball foul. Result of the play is a first down.
Now, I'll give Helms credit. He's going to show you pass pro is not passive. It's a lesson that us offensive linemen love. But you also have to know when enough is enough. There you see him dislodge the helmet.
That is number 68's first unsportsmanlike
Yeah,
conduct
Dalvin
foul of
Hutchinson
the
needs
game.
to stop playing and running after the play without a helmet. That's a penalty.
I always thought that'd just be tough to do. Never happened to me, and it wasn't something that was addressed way back when I played college football. But I just, especially for a defensive lineman, you can talk to track the football, helmet comes off. Human nature is going to be to continue to do what you do.
You were wearing those old bike helmets that you would air pump up, right?
Yes.
That thing was never coming off that noggin. Fresh set of downs for App State. Can they take advantage? Now that's the type of run we're used to seeing from Noel. He stays on his feet just fighting for yards. That is a tough 5 yards on first down.
Sometimes when your run game's struggling, you just got to pull the back to the side and say, get north and south for me, please. Just a read dive play. Zone blocking it to the left. Just going to be able to hit backside.
Quickly out to Williams. Tracked down before he was able to get to the first down marker, Cameron Solomon. Boy, you weren't kidding about these safeties. It seems like on every play I'm mentioning a new player.
My coach Neighbors told us who coaches these safeties. He has 6 that are going to play. And he said, I feel confident with all 6 of them. I'll roll them. I want to get them all reps. I don't think I miss much when the next guy comes in at any spot.
Noel couldn't sidestep a tackler there. That's Quibido. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Where short yardage has not been kind to App State this evening. And again, I'll go back and give credit to the Raging Cajuns defensive line, Roy Seagrass, longtime D-line coach here for the Cajuns, done an excellent job. He's got a veteran group. It just always feels like they have forced App State to be different on 3rd downs, and now a massive 4th down attempt for App State.
Bryce the fake, pressure. It's a tight end. That's a first down and more. Pearson out of bounds at the 20.
Love the play call from Frank Ponce. Henry Pearson is going to act like he's locking the backside. So there, you see him middle of your screen, fake the block, and then just get out in space.
4th down conversion for the Mountaineers. Fake to Noel. Now pump fake. Bryce wants to go to the end zone. No chance. Looking for Evans, and now we get a flag. A lot of contact there in the end zone. Brandon Bishop was on the coverage.
Not a lot of separation, and Mike Evans actually, the App State tight end, gives a late shove.
And that flag was late too, Cole. That might be it. Officials having a discussion over at the 5-yard line.
A couple of the things we've seen here with App State, it's just not App State football. It's not the way Sean Clark manages his team. Discipline, rarely an issue.
2nd down.
Officials picked up the flag.
Here's a shove. There goes the ball. I mean, completely unnecessary,
right.
First and foremost.
And uncatchable. I think you'd probably say that.
He had 12 personnel there, so 2 tight ends.
Clock will be kept on the field.
Once again, scoreboard has gone out. Overheating.
My son would tell you that Electro
there we go.
Was in here. Spider-Man villain. It's his favorite book right now.
This shows you the different worlds we live in. I have no idea what you were just talking about, but I'm going to take your word for it.
4-year-old's into Spidey.
Noel's into picking up big yards, lowers his shoulder.
So you're seeing App State finding something on the backside of these runs now. Second time that they've called the run play. It's going to hit behind the zone blocking, and Nate Noel is able to just drive that thing north and south for 4 or 5 yards. Now, still going to put you in a fairly uncomfortable 3rd down position. The reason I say uncomfortable is because you hadn't had any success on 3rd down tonight.
Bryce to give to Noel. He just fights for a couple, but it'll bring up, again, 4th down. And saw the Mountaineers go for it on the last 4th down. This is 4th down and 2, a little bit shorter than their last 4th down try, but it looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field again.
And I'm okay with the stretch play there if you know you're going to go for it on 4th down.
Bryce, the fake to Noel. Now he wants to go in the end zone. Comes short to Williams. And a nice check down by Chase Bryce to move the sticks.
Really nice patience from Chase Bryce. He's got to wait on this route. Here you see the bunch, create some space. Nice job by just shutting that route down by Malik Williams. That play takes protection up front, and Chase Bryce was able to get it. And then a nice job just not rushing through and delivering that football too early. Good call, good conversion.
Williams hobbling a little bit. First down and goal.
You got the wide side of the field here. It's where you want to just get that stretch play going.
Goal in the middle. Net, driven back after a couple.
The consistency has not been there for the App State rushing attack. Whether it's been penetration from the defensive line, safeties screaming down in run support, linebackers meeting those backs at or near the backfield. This Cajun defense, they're just not giving up anything easy to App State tonight.
Two tight ends now, call them H-bats, flanking Chase Bryce. Fake to Noel. Bryce is going to keep it himself. To the goal line, and he gets in. Good effort by Chase Bryce. Mountaineers answer.
On a must-have-it drive. Some old school option. Chase Bryce fakes the dive to Nate Noel. You see Pearson and Evans out leading the way. They're going to pull some of those defenders flat. It's not totally different from what we saw Arkansas try twice against Ole Miss over the weekend. Worked the first time, did not work the second time. No pass option on this particular play. A little more true option, but good execution from Chase Bryce nonetheless.
State buries the try, and as we were at the half, we are at a 14-point game. Louisiana has scored. App State has answered. It's a lead for the Cajuns in the third. Tit for tat. Levi Lewis's chance on the right, and Lewis has shown us all kinds of skill today, hasn't he?
A lot of poise, a lot of presence, a lot of confidence to go along with some deep ball accuracy, which has improved. Maybe the most improved portion of his game. The elusiveness, to be able to create, ad-lib, extend plays, but this is the part that I have been most impressed with, especially early in the game. That changed the way this App State defense is going to have to defend him. And then when he gets out on his own, especially to his left,
right,
which is where he wants to live, which is where he's most effective. Yeah, that's where, when we talked to defensive coordinator Dale Jones for App State, he said, we have got to get him right. We want him to roll to his right. We don't feel like he's anywhere near as effective there. And Chris, I'm not sure we've seen Levi Lewis go to his right one time tonight.
Nick Hampton doesn't want us to show that highlight anymore. Levi Lewis is juking him right out of his socks for that score. Smith on the return. He'll try and make something out of it. Starting from the zone 2. Won't make much out of it. Stop before he got to the 20, and then we get a flag. A lot of laundry tonight.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 37. Be half the distance to the goal. First down.
So Levi Lewis and company will have to start deep in their own territory. 8:14 left to go here in this third quarter. Louisiana playing out of the Western Division in the Sun Belt. Pretty much owned that division here over the last few years. App State and Coastal both in the East, and those two teams will play next Wednesday right here on ESPN. We're all looking forward to that one. App State's got a lot of business to take care of, though, here in the next quarter and a half. They want to go into that game without an L in conference play. Lewis to throw from his own end zone. Dancing around out there and just chucks it into the first row.
Pass is incomplete, second down.
Those were the formations that I thought we were going to get a little bit more of from the Raging Cajuns tonight. Some extra tight ends to one side, some traditional unbalanced looks, try to get this App State defense lined up incorrectly. Thought they'd be able to steal some yards that way, but honestly, Chris, with the explosive plays early on, haven't had to show a lot of that tonight. Now you want to grind some clock. So another 2 tight end set here. One in line, one back as an H.
Fake to Bailey. Lewis with a stiff arm, but all kinds of defenders out there, and he actually did well to get what he could. Got an injured player on the field, and that is a member of this App State defense. That's Dante Small, and staff quickly out to see about his condition. Staff from both sidelines out there to check on Dante Small. We'll keep an eye on him and let you know what's going on when we come back. I can't see exactly where he got hurt. Now, he was able to walk off under his own power during the break, so that was a good sign. There you see it.
Good to see that.
Yeah. That run brings up a big 3rd down right here. This App State defense would love to force a 3 and out and force a punt from the shadow of Louisiana's own goalpost. Lewis to throw. Brings just 4. Now he tried to run it, tried to escape on his left. Tried to hit Kyron Lacey, and he got turned around. And it's going to be incomplete and 4th down. They do just that.
And you get a clock stoppage on the incomplete pass, so a nice stand for the App State defense. Lewis just leaves the pocket, trying to float this one over the top. And I don't know if Lacey spotted that ball a little bit late, just couldn't get turned around, couldn't just get his body in position to make an attempt at that football.
So now Reese Burns from inside his own end zone will try and uncork one. Hennigan is back to receive it. Hennigan from his 38. He'll be able to return this one. Picks up about 6 yards. 2 4th down conversions for App State on their last drive, Cole. They haven't converted a 3rd down, but they got 2 4th downs.
Well, we mentioned in the first half, Chris, how there seemed to be some conservative play calling early on. Well, now you're aggressive here in the second half with this deficit, and it paid off for you. Chase Bryce makes a couple of big throws, and then obviously keeps on the option to bowl his way into the end zone. Chase Bryce going to have to be effective here down the stretch if App State's going to get back in this football game. Don't get away from the run. Stick with what got you here. Run your offense. Plenty of time left in this game. But they need their quarterback to make plays.
Patrick Harrington. Not much, give him a couple of yards. Harrington, as we mentioned earlier, injured all of this year so far. Had 595 yards rushing last year, but this is his first action this season.
That stretch play played to perfection by Dalvin Hutchinson and Jaquan Nelson, 94-97. Penetration is what Rory Seagrass wants against that stretch play. He wants to get the offensive lineman moving back to force that play to either spill outside or have to cut back inside. You don't want to play it flat.
Fake to Harrington. Bryce will look to throw. Over here to Hennigan, makes the catch. Into Louisiana territory, but he might be just shy of the 1st down. Braylon Trahan was there to make the stop.
Looks like the spot's going to be 6 inches, maybe short of that stick. You know, Chris, that's one thing we haven't seen a lot of tonight either. Yards after contact for Appalachian State. These Raging Cajun defenders done a pretty good job of, when they arrive at the ball carrier, getting them to the ground. Not a lot of extra yards tonight for App.
Dalvin Hutchinson shaken up a little bit on the play, behind the play, being attended to by this Louisiana staff.
Hutch a little undersized. I say that's 6 foot 290, but he's more your first, second down defensive lineman. Not super twitchy, but this would actually be a great situation to be able to have him in. 3rd down and about a foot. One of those bodies you'd like to have in.
Walks off on his own. Yeah, 3rd down and less than a yard here.
Good news is you do have Taylor Humphrey in, who is 6'5", 350 pounds. Super senior in the middle of that defense. 99 gets it done. Big wingspan.
Big everything.
Fair, yes.
FIU transfer. This is what App State has done on third down. Bupkis better on fourth down, and they get one here. No! Stop shy! Noel just cannot get those inside yards tonight.
I tell you, I think first it started up front, Taylor Humphrey. We were just talking about 99. Give him a little bit of a push. Top of your screen right there.
They'll look to go quickly here, too, on fourth down, keeping the offense on the field. Noel initially stopped. He's not going to get there. Farrod Gardner came up and made the stop, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. We'll wait until we get the official measurement here. Now they gave him a first down on that. Wow. I spoke too soon. I didn't think he even got to the line of scrimmage.
Let's get the look here.
He might have gotten right to that line to gain. The line to gain was the 47, and they marked the ball right on the 47. Crowd here doesn't like it.
Sean Clark doesn't like the fact that he's not able to snap the football either. He wanted that ball snapped 10 seconds ago.
Because he wants to do this. Trying to get Sutton deep. He was dragged down. That's obvious PI. And Sutton might be down on the play. Guerre, the man who had the interception moments ago, just dragged Sutton down. He was beat and had to do what he had to do.
Safety help came late. You mentioned it. Beat on the play. Big opportunity there for App State to come up with an explosive. And Eric Guerre just felt like better to get him to the ground than give up that kind of a catch.
And the App State training staff looking over Sutton.
Pass interference, defense, number 19, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Every cornerback's got to do that from time to time, don't they? Know they're beat, just take their medicine. Unfortunately, Corey Sutton got injured on the play. Hopefully not too seriously. Injury bug starting to work on both these teams on a super hot night here in Lafayette. Good to see Sutton up and running.
Yeah, really good to see. You wonder if he just kind of came down hard, knocked the wind out of him. Looks like he's going to be good to go. That's great news because that's a big play threat that you have in this offense. And it's an area that I feel like this Appalachian State team is a little bit different than what we've seen the last few, going back 4 or 5 years. The ability to stretch the field, the ability to get those shot plays down the field.
As we look at Frank Ponce calling this drive. Big Saturday lineup for you on ABC and ESPN, on the ESPN app. Check it out. UCF Cincinnati at noon. Purdue at Iowa. Iowa coming off the big win. Luckily, they're not at Purdue. They want to have a road game coming off that huge game against Penn State last weekend. They'll kick at 3:30. Then TCU at Oklahoma. Who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Sooners?
Big question
Saturday
there.
night. What a comeback for them last weekend against Texas. This would be a huge comeback tonight for App State if they can pull it off. Fresh set of downs. Bryce looking to throw once again. Pressure up the middle. He'll be sacked. That's Chris Moncrief getting involved from that linebacker spot.
Patrick Toney has dialed up. Pressures at the right times. Playing off the ball. Going to come up a little bit late. That's just a trigger blitz. See the back stay in on protection, go attack the quarterback. Back tries to go low. It's not going to be enough to get Chris Moncrief to the ground.
Loss of 9 on the play, 2nd and 19. Bryce has time. Nice catch by Sutton, back in the game, snagged that one. Minimal gain though as Manak comes back to make the stop from his outside linebacker spot. And Now it'll be a 3rd down and 13.
Great to see Corey Sutton back in the game, and that is full extension with the arms. Go gadget reception there for Corey Sutton.
Clock ticking inside, 4 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. App State trying to dig into that disadvantage. That was 14 points at the half, and it stands there now. 3rd and 13. Make it 14. Little delayed pressure. Sutton, a lot of hand fighting out there. Incomplete, no flag. And a word or two coming from Mekhi Gardner from that corner spot to Sutton.
Gardner using that big corner frame to be able to body up the wide receiver. I didn't see anything wrong, didn't see too much. Double twist up front from that defensive line, pretty good protection. Mekhi Gardner almost just here, bottom of your screen. Body him up, good position. Go attack that football.
Big corner, 6'1", 217 from Mesquite, Texas. Making the big play, forcing the punt from their 36. 4th and 14, maybe just a little bit too long, and now trying to keep the Cajuns pinned deep. Oh, an unbelievable punt. Subach with a great kick. It's going to go out of bounds at the 2, so smart decision that time. It paid off for App State, and now the Cajuns are going to be stuck for the 2nd drive in a row deep in their own territory. Our next UFC Fight Night Saturday from the Apex in Las Vegas. Main event has 9-1 Aspen Ladd moving up in weight to make her debut in the featherweight division. She'll face 6-1 Norma Dumont, who looks to become the top contender in this category. Preliminary events start at 4 Eastern on ESPN Plus, followed by the main card at 7 o'clock Eastern. To get ESPN Plus, go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app.
Some MMA love here locally.
Yeah, we do. Look at those, both from Northside High School.
Two great fighters.
Lewis on the screen pass. Pierce Meagle. That's his 5th catch of the year, and that's going to move the chains, get him out of trouble.
Boy, I love Pierce Meagle. Call him the Hammer. He's a guy in there who does a lot of dirty work, help you block a little bit. Not going to get too many targets, but a very valuable asset up front that you can move around different spots.
True freshman Montrell Johnson behind Levi Lewis. Not a great deal of room for Johnson, but he powers his way to pick up about a yard. Brendan Harrington on the stop clock inside of 3 minutes in this 3rd quarter.
Some confusion there is the Hammer, Pierce Meagle, as we just mentioned. He comes across, looks like a split zone play, but then Johnny Lumpkin from the other H, he also comes across. Here you go, right in the backfield. Not supposed to block him.
Don't block the guy in the red helmet. Find a guy in a yellow helmet to block.
They could have gone full Florida and just blocked their own guy, so it's good that they avoided that.
Result of the play was not what they had hoped, only about a yard and a half, so it's 2nd down and 8. Johnson again on the cutback, has a little bit more room. 3rd down and 2. You see that a lot on the stretch, don't you? When the defense blows completely by you and you get a little backside opening.
And a lot of them are taught to hit it that way. My favorite formation in football right there. 12 formation, single back, both tight ends, hand in the deep. On each side of the line of scrimmage, it evens it out, it widens the defense, gives you so many different lanes that you can attack. And I tell you, that's a great open field tackle on that play, because full head of steam getting north and south. Now we got some fun formations happening here.
3rd down and 2. Johnson, a lot of room to run. Now to the outside. To midfield. Brought down at the 46. Big gain before Stephen Jones was able to bring him down. Johnson showing not only the power, but the speed for this young back.
Well, they like his physicality, but I like the explosiveness, the ability to run away. Right there, he puts Tim Frizzell in the spin cycle. Watch him just get north and south. He plants the 1 foot in, and boom, gone.
26 yards for Montrell. Another opportunity to choose some clock if you're Louisiana. Once again, Montrell sidesteps his way into that second level. Good yardage on first down. Give him about 5.5.
You saw when Levi Lewis moves the back, you want to put him the same side as your tight end. Then your tight end can't split back across the zone. You want to get that opposite look to cause the visual deception of the linebackers. One thing that you talked about a little bit earlier can give you those cutback lanes sometimes. Sometimes that cutter will come across and they'll seal the backside. That allows you to get north and south. And then we just saw a moment ago where that tight end will leak out. Good coverage by App State when they did it, but that play could be there later.
Smith carried. Huge hole for him on the left side. Pushes a blocker in front, and they'll move the chains. And the pile continues to move. Finally, they blow the play dead, but it's another big gain for these running backs. And now all of a sudden, you're starting to see a little more chunk plays.
Once again, get strong with one arm. We mentioned it down on the touchdown run, but 64 Shane Velo doing it again. Get strong with that right arm, shoving him out to the outside for another big gain for the Raging Cajuns.
Chris Cotter and Cole Kubelik with you. Cajun Field, the start of Fun Belt action. Midweek Fun Belt action here on ESPN. Next week it's Coastal and App State. You got a quarter to play here. App State needs a big comeback, and right now, the Louisiana Raging Cajuns have the lead, a 2-score lead.
By the way, that's driving. Appetizer State. Don't hate.
Right.
I'm here for it.
Correct. What's there to hate about that?
Give me the blooming onions, all of them.
If I could get a scholarship there, I'd go. Ooh, still on his feet. Smith. They didn't blow the whistle. Now he hurls a defender. That's one of the runs of the year for the Cajuns.
Four-sport high school athlete, split zone again. Great job of the left side of that offensive line. We said it earlier, if I get you one-on-one with a safety, make them miss, or spin through them and then jump over them. Take your pick.
Well, our replay official, Terry Walters, is going to take a look at this to see if Smith's knee was down. We'll have to slow this up. That was a dynamic run by Chris Smith.
It's like drive to the lane, jump over the tag at third base, and then sprint with the baton home.
Let's see if the knee hits here. It's going to be close. That knee hit.
Yeah, he's down.
That's a shame. But we got to see it anyways, even if it won't count.
Look at that hole. Goodness gracious. Ken Marks, the left tackle. That is a kick-out block, folks. Yep.
That's so athletic right there. And then he's got a lineman downfield, A.J. Gilly, who they were raving about. You talk about Marks and Osiris and Max Mitchell, Shane Velo. Well, A.J. Gilly's the youngster in this group, number 53, and I love how Tim Leger,
After video review, the runner's knee was down at the 24-yard line. First down.
Yeah, they'll move him back to 24. Leger called him a people mover by nature. I love that.
Love it. Human bulldozer. Yeah, he's
what he was born to do.
Really the only first-year starter in this group, so the inexperienced one of the bunch has done an excellent job filling in. And 2 offensive linemen down during the season. As you see Jeff Nord there, Hedge, the offensive line coach for the Raging Cajuns. Lost another in fall camp. Hoping to get one back here in the next week or two, but they have overcome a lot of injuries on this offensive line also.
Smith. They got nothing to do in there. Tracked down in the backfield by Ronald Clark. Once again, this defense has got to bow up.
Well, now you're seeing the overcommitment with numbers down in the box. You get safeties that get into the backfield that quickly. First thing Billy Napier's going to think is, okay, what do we have up top? I know we're running clock. I know we have a comfortable lead. We want to sit on that, but I'm not going to let you bring your safeties down all the way to the line of scrimmage as the ball snap.
Yeah, scared money don't make money. A lot of pressure around Lewis. Oh, the receiver didn't turn around. He fired a bullet out there. Jalen Williams just didn't get his head turned around. It was behind him anyway.
Levi Lewis had a little pressure there off the play action. Watch pressure come off here left side. Gets in just a little bit late. And you mentioned it. Williams didn't locate that football. Not sure even if he did, it would have mattered. Ball thrown behind him. Fortunate there for Levi Lewis to be able to get away with that one.
So think about this. 3rd down and 11. The field goal makes it a 3-score game, but the Cajuns don't exactly have their A game right now in terms of kicking field goals. 4 seconds on the play clock. They're going to have to work quickly here. They do just know they don't. Well, Napier came down and called the timeout to be safe. So the Cajuns have to burn one here, but a good time at 3rd and 11.
Timeout, Louisiana.
All right, Coach Napier will talk about it with his team. Facing a big 3rd down here, trying to make it a 3-score game. A lot to think about for Louisiana head coach Billy Napier. Ball on the 25-yard line, 3rd down and 11. Kicking game not really super strong for them, as basically veteran Nate Snyder and true freshman Logan Klotz have had a competition this week with Kenneth Almendares, the starter, out for the year. But this may be two downs here to get this 1st down. Chris Smith now in motion. Lewis, flag down on the play. He's getting free a little bit here, though, and close to the 1st down. He won't get it, but he's gotten within a yard. Now, this could be an interesting decision, too. If it's offside against App State, they'll get a free play, but they won't be that close to the 1st down marker. It is offside against App State. Do you decline it and go 4th and 2 or 3rd down and 6?
If I can get the double team movement on a draw play that I just got from my center and left guard on the last play, then I'm going to take the 4th and 2 and go for it.
Right. Napier's doing all the calculations in his head, trying to figure out his options.
This is where I would be really bad as a head coach.
Or do you
trying to do any sort of math?
Or are you close enough now to where you
Offside.
will kick a field goal?
Defense, number 9. Penalties decline. 4th down.
It doesn't look like they're bringing the kicker on.
Right here. Watch your double team. This is a draw play. Bah! Let's go for a ride. I mean, that's 4 or 5 yards downfield. That's effective.
Yeah, Gilly's in there grinding away.
Offside. Defense, number 9. 5-yard penalty. Replay.
So they're
3rd down.
accepting it. Okay, so now they're going to accept the penalty, and it'll be 3rd down and a long 6.
Maybe he just wanted to see where the sticks would be on 4th down, and then when he saw it, changed his mind and said, no, bring it back. But you get 2 shots at it now, a little bit closer range.
Meagle in motion. Give to Smith. Behind that big offensive line. What a job defensively, though. It looked like Smith was going to have a lot of room to run, and Tim Frizzell came in from his dog spot and at least contained that run.
Whew, pretty good push on the left side initially. Like you said, going to leave about a yard left.
They're going to go.
I think we've ruled kicking out for a while.
It looks
Chris.
that way.
We talked to Billy Napier about it. He said he wasn't sure. He said, we'll try him out before the game. I'll watch him in warm-ups. Not very comforting.
Bringing the tight ends under center.
Got
a movement. And Shane Velo just says, yeah, that's 1st down.
All right, so there's not many times that the center is going to be able to celebrate a 1st down in front of the entire crowd. So
have you ever done
big
that?
Boy.
Do we have footage of a full head of hair?
Offside. Defense,
Cole
number 99
Kubelik
on
celebrating a
contact.
1st down like that
5-yard
somewhere. We
penalty.
got to dig that up in the
Results in a 1st
archives.
down.
I love it. Nice job holding your water. We used to come up the line of scrimmage on that. We just close our eyes. Just close your eyes. Don't even listen to snap count. Just tune them out, and there it is.
Look at the dexterity.
1st down.
Cat-like reflexes.
Love it. Shane Velo apparently is the cook of the team. The guy loves to work in the kitchen. Unfortunately, according to the staff, he doesn't like to cook anything healthy.
Yeah, I'm guessing not. And he's
Which is where the 6'2", 290 comes in.
Yeah, hometown kid. Lewis trying to get to the edge, forced out of bounds at about the 3.
Quarterback keeper by number 1, Levi Lewis.
Good job, guys. We talked a lot about the offensive line. We mentioned some of the tight ends. We've even mentioned some of the receivers in their blocking. But how about another running back? Montrell Johnson, 4 out front, former Arizona commit. A nice job sealing the perimeter there, helping open up a few extra yards, as this is becoming a demoralizing drive for the App State defense.
And Montrell Johnson, the true freshman from New Orleans. Drive started at their own 2. Let's keep that in mind too. So the clock has been winding down. They've converted to keep the drive alive. Johnson now flanking Lewis. He's trying to get the reward for the score, but Caleb Spurlin just keeps fighting down low and makes the stop. Spurlin, you mentioned it earlier, 5'11", 235, defensive end, is a former walk-on. There he is, meets with the offensive line coaches every week.
How cool is that? I mean, I love when college football players, they all say, well, if I could go back, I wouldn't change a thing. I'd have changed all kind of things. And when I hear the story that he used to go down there and meet with his offensive line coach, not his, but the team's offensive line coach, meet with the offensive line just to learn technique, fundamentals, hand placement, hat placement, signals, calls, that's pretty cool.
Another score. The true freshman, Montrell Johnson, puts it on the board. And that offensive line right there, they can smell it, and they can celebrate too.
Nice push over on the left side. When you start seeing your opponent's helmets behind the goal line, you're in good shape. Running back's going to be able to make that work, and you go get the Rampage Jackson look going.
And Napier's a lot more comfortable sending Snyder out there to kick PATs than he is to kick 40-yard field goals. 13 plays, 98 yards for that drive here to start the fourth quarter. Johnson finds pay dirt. His offensive line mates celebrating along with him. All Cajuns.
The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
For Levi Lewis, 34-13 our score, 10:38 left to go in this one. We've seen wild things happen in college football this year, so it isn't over until it's over. But certainly App State needs to put something together here on this drive and do it quickly. Tucker on the return. Met at the 28, dropped right there. Don't forget, got a great college football Saturday lined up for you on ABC. We start with Desmond Ridder, number 3 Cincinnati, hosting UCF. Then Iowa, coming off a huge game last week, gets started at 3:30, and then Oklahoma and TCU, the nightcap. Those are our games on Thursday and Friday as well. I love the fact that we got a couple of games on Friday night.
Let's go.
Offside, number 23 of the kicking team. 5 yards added to end the run. First down.
App State comes into this game averaging 197 yards on the ground, and pretty much through recorded history, they run the ball for over 200 yards. Today, it's not so much. 67 yards on the ground. Got to put something together here. Fumble. Ball's on the ground. That may seal it. Recovered by Lorenzo McCaskill. It's been that kind of night for Sean Clark.
Kind of figured you were going to have one more go at it. Just never got it out of the mesh. Looked like the ball was in his belly. Not sure if he squeezed it a little bit late. It doesn't feel like Chase is trying to pull it out. Just didn't get a handle on it.
Turnovers have been a big story in this game. Second fumble lost by this App State team. A couple of interceptions from Chase Bryce.
We've talked about it a couple times, Chris. Just these are not characteristic things of App State football. Trouble with the mesh. You work the mesh every day. Something that this team's very good at. Penalties. We talked about a couple of the dumb penalties we've seen in this game. Running the football. It hadn't gotten going. We're not used to seeing Appalachian State not be able to run the football. You give a lot of credit to the Raging Cajuns, what they've been able to do to offset and force some of those things, but you see right there, turnover battle, massive. Have not converted a third down.
No, they came into this game converting 39% of their third downs for the season.
Rushing yards, turnovers, penalties, third downs are big. At least that's what the Rubik's Cube says.
Is that patented?
It is not. We're working on that. Working on it.
Have those guys you work with on Saturday throw some of their considerable clout out there to get that thing patented.
I think they have they got bigger fish to fry with Cash Pad and calling Kentucky Pro Day.
Oh, you're right. That is an interesting crew. Where are you guys going to be next Saturday, by the way?
We are in Knoxville this weekend for what is looking like the longest recorded football game in the history of college football. Ole Miss at Tennessee.
I was going to say, get your oxygen tank ready on the sideline for that one. Up and down the field. Push pass, Jefferson. Well, that's that athleticism we talked about in the first half, showing up again here in the fourth quarter.
You get 2 extra blockers out in front, helping create space. Pierce Meagle, one of those out there. I told you before, 24, one of my favorite players to watch on this football team. Not a lot of reward for what he does. A lot of the dirty work, call him the hammer. Just a gritty blocker, gritty player, tough, physical, but kind of that's what Billy Napier wants. He wants some of those guys on his football team. He wants some of the developmental guys.
Right, tight end wearing 24. Just sort of, he would be like that football player that they have at Virginia, that position. Bailey breaks through. He'll score. 26 yards on the run, and the folks here in Lafayette can start to celebrate. Like, who am I talking about? They've been celebrating for the last 10 hours. That's going to be a flag.
Left side of your screen, we talk about steering individuals. How about left arm, strong arm from Osiris Torrance? Just extends to open up the seam. And then my daughter would be excited about the gymnastics display in the end zone.
Result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct of the offense, number 9. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff, 15 yards. That is number 9's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
And that won't be very popular when he gets to the sideline.
Jabbar Jalouk going to let him know. Oh, I like Napier. You're not getting the staff after that. Love it. They call Amani Little Barry, and that is exclusive for the way that he runs, not the way that he celebrates.
Yeah, they don't call him Little Bart Connor. Leave the gymnastics to those fellas. Leave the running to Amani Bailey, 40-13, Louisiana.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year for the 3rd year in a row.
About midway through the fourth quarter here, all Cajuns, and our game next week, App State, they'll welcome Coastal Carolina into Boone next Wednesday, 7:30 on ESPN2. Anish and Lugs on the call there. Always great to go into Boone this time of year, especially. Tucker again on the return. After the 15-yard penalty was assessed, App State will be in a good spot here at the 38. Coastal's unbeaten, though, right now, and with this loss in conference for App State, now that game obviously carries significant importance. If they can somehow get the W over Coastal at home, and I wouldn't put it past them.
It might be the most unique offense in college football, with how they have married the spread with some triple option wing tee principles. It is really cool. I had a chance to call their game against Campbell at home last year. and be there on the surf turf and check them out, see what they're doing with Grayson McCall and Isaiah Likely, and just what they've done with Willie Korn helping direct that offense. It's fun to watch, and it is a difficult task to defend it. What a catch.
Yeah, Harrington with a great one-arm catch. It'll be a loss of 3 yards, but that's the best 3-yard loss on a catch you'll ever see.
You know, Coastal, they give you just enough of everything that you're going to have to prepare for. You have to prepare for the belly. You have to prepare for the old school trap. And then you have to prepare for some of the zone stuff. And then you have to prepare for some of the quarterback read stuff, not just in the option game, but in the zone read game. They throw some RPOs at you, good play action team. They can formation you in different ways. They can go up tempo. And they truly are an offense that does almost everything. And they got an offensive line that gets after you. The group plays hard.
Great mullets.
I guess that depends on your flavor.
It's all working for them.
Yeah.
Ranked 15th in the country. And you look at their schedule coming up, Cole. I mean, it's not an easy trip to play in Boone. And that'll be next Wednesday. But after that,
I mean, I think
at Mobile at the end of the year. I mean, everything else is in Conway, so they got to go to Statesboro. But it just doesn't seem like it's a schedule where there are a lot of pitfalls there. Bryce, he'll look to run it on his own. Got to make one man miss and can't do it.
I'm gonna put this mullet up against any of Coastal's mullets. Bobby Hill, long snapper for the Raging Cajuns.
He's got a great one. Can we find him? If you can find that mullet, that'll throw down the gauntlet. Now, the Cajuns won't play Coastal until possibly there he is right there.
Oh, boy.
They won't play him until the championship game in December if both teams converge for that title game. But Bobby Hill is, like I said, throwing down the gauntlet.
I feel like that is full Def Leppard.
It's like Michael P.S. Hayes back in the wrestling days, too. Yeah, the
Rockers.
Where's Terry Gordy?
Well, Conrad Thompson can tell you some stories about that one.
41-13, Louisiana. Spotlight brought to you by Tide. Our player spotlight is, of course, Levi Lewis. 15 of 25, 209 yards through the air. Had that one pick. Touchdown pass to Kyron Lacey. But really, he's just done a masterful job directing this offense.
I think the explosive plays that he was able to create down the field early, especially early, that changed the way App State had to defend this football team and really allowed for the Raging Cajuns to stay comfortable with their play calling.
Johnson, the true freshman, getting more work here in the fourth quarter. That's 10 yards.
There's nothing more than you like as an offensive coordinator, an offensive line coach, an offensive lineman, a running back than for your run game to get better as the game progresses and to become more dominant late in the game. And that's what you're seeing here from the Raging Cajuns, beginning to lean on this App State football team.
Now 207 yards on the ground as a team. And in absolute no hurry to run the next play.
They had a couple injuries. They got a couple of guys that are playing beat up. You know, Ken Marks hadn't really been 100% this year. Lost a couple of guys early in the season, so it's taking them some time to gel, but boy, they've looked good tonight.
Johnson battling for a yard. He's up to 93 yards on the day on the ground. Sean Clark will have an extra day, I guess, if you look at it that way, from a Tuesday to a Wednesday next week to prepare for Coastal Carolina at home.
You will need it based on what Jamie Chadwell and Willie Korn are going to draw up for you offensively.
Nice tackle on the play. Logan Dublin on the stop, getting some playing time. Tom Luganbull and East Schroff going to make that call. Lugs will make the short trip from Charlotte to Boone.
Lugs didn't have to come to the humidity. He gets to go to zero humidity.
I mean, Lugs has made a living out of calling games in hurricanes and ridiculous weather, so he gets, you know, I tip my cap and say, go ahead, young man, enjoy that drive and that couple of days up there in Boone. This time of year, gorgeous.
I'll take rain over heat every single week.
Johnson hurdles a defender. That's the second time we've seen a back from Louisiana do that tonight.
So watch the right side of this offensive line. Right up here, you're going to get another double team that's just going to be monstrous. Latch on. Once again, let's go for a ride. Free tickets. Just 10, 15 yards downfield. Love it right there. Give a little round of applause.
Yep.
Yeah. Cajun fans know what's up. They know this offensive line did work tonight. It's a career night for Shane Velo. You get to celebrate a first down in front of the crowd. That rarely happens. And your coach checks you out early to get an ovation.
Yeah, much of the offense coming out there. There's Velo.
I mean, you just don't see that in football very often.
Levi Lewis. Night looks like it is finished. Chandler Fields in at quarterback. Now for the Raging Cajuns. You'll see T.J. Wisham. Homecoming king, T.J. Wisham.
Not an accomplishment I can claim.
Never in the running, you and I. We were never even on the ballot.
No, I would not have gotten many votes.
Good for Johnson, the freshman, over 100 yards today. So T.J. Wisham now will get a few carries. Bounces outside.
Oh, nice run.
Yep, picks up a first down. Sunbelt action this weekend. You can watch them on ESPN Plus. Troy at Texas State. Liberty's pretty darn good too, taking on Louisiana Monroe. And then don't forget the following week, Texas State at Georgia State down there in Atlanta.
Jake Spavital's group coming on a little bit here late in the season, around mid-season, finding their way. Interesting go of how Spav's trying to build that thing. No high school signees in his last class. Now, circumstance sort of built it that way. Not going to do that every year, but just it has gotten so different as to how you can build your football team with the transfer portal.
A week like this, maybe you can offer a little more playing time. An opportunity for rebirth, if you will, with Chase Bryce. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board himself. Of course, the years at Clemson, last year at Duke, and now here at App State.
Well, and the hard part at this level, Chris, is the other way, the opposite end of that. You get a guy who comes in, plays really well, and now your Power 5 teams come knocking on his door, and they're going to want that opportunity. And App State has, I believe, 3 players starting on different Power 5 football teams right now that were on this team a year ago. Technically, with eligibility left, it should be on this team now. That's tough.
Right.
You know, Nick Saban told us about this right before SEC Media Days. He was asked about it in a press conference. He said, you know, we don't see a lot of our good players going other places. I got a feeling there's some good players on other teams who want to come play for us. And what do you know? Jamison Williams comes in from Ohio State. He's running all over the place.
All over the place.
Kick returns for touchdowns, explosive plays at wide receiver. To'o comes in. He knows how to manage the defense. He's making tackles for him. You don't need many, but you plug 1 or 2 in, and guess what? Your football team's a little bit better.
How about this Raging Cajun football team, too, with so many players coming back and deciding to come back, and Elijah Mitchell and Trey Regis going to the NFL, 2 running backs from last year's team into the NFL.
Yeah, Mitchell carrying the load for the 49ers towards the end of the game last week.
And yet here they are running for 200-plus yards.
Multiple backs doing work.
Yeah, against the best defense in the conference coming in.
It says a lot about your program when a young man like Levi Lewis says, I want to come back and play again. You get guys on the defensive side of the football like Fraud Gardner that said, I want to come back and play again. That speaks to the culture that Billy Napier has built here for the Raging Cajuns.
Final seconds ticking off the clock here in Lafayette. Coach Clark and Napier share a word at midfield. And it's a big win for the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. 41-13, our final. For Cole Kubelik and our entire crew, I'm Chris Cotter saying so long from Lafayette. Once again, Raging Cajuns victorious. Let's send you to SportsCenter.